Yo, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome on in if this is your first video of mine. Anyways, today I just wanted to talk about something that we've all, no doubt, had the displeasure of encountering. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The title probably says it already. But, anyways, I'm sure we've all heard the same spiel about how AI is bad. I have. And frankly enough, it's something that needs to be heard. And so that's why I'm making this video. However, I'm going to be talking about my own gripes with it, and particularly the horrible AI ads that I get while I'm at work and I cannot change my headphones. Because, if you guys didn't know, I still have a job, I still work, obviously. I don't make any money by doing this, for now. Anyways, so during my job, I have to wash dishes and stuff like that. And because of that, I have to wear 2 sets of gloves. I have to have hot water running constantly. And because of that, it's not necessarily easy to be switching music or videos on or off. So naturally, when I get an ad in the middle or after like a music video or something like that, it annoys me to no end. Especially when it's something like an infomercial I don't care about. You know, one of those where it perpetually sounds like they're going to be done, but they never are, and it's an hour long, and they just keep going and going. Well, anyways, regardless of that, that is not what I'm here to talk about. That's a whole separate issue, which I don't even really think is an issue that much. I mean, obviously no one likes advertisements, but in particular, that's not the pressing issue right now. What is, however... But let me tell you about the ads that I do take problem with. Mainly these horrible AI ads where it's just almost entirely AI generated, or it's advertising an AI generated product, and it's like so garbage, you know? I mean, and some of these are just entirely unexpired. Like, I get a lot of business AI ads for some reason, and one of them is just like laughably lazy. Granted, I have never seen the visuals for this ad, so I don't know if the visuals are also AI generated, since that one's at least have the decency to never show up when I'm directly looking at it. And basically this ad, it's advertising some sort of business sort of thing. But you want to know what its name is, what this interesting product of theirs, their AI service, is called? Well, it's called Up-to-Date Expert AI. Yeah. So basically, I thought that, oh yeah, they're just advertising as like, oh, this is the best AI so far that we have. It's up to date, it's expert, all that. But no, that's his name. It's named Up-to-Date Expert AI. So it's like, oh yeah, what business software are you using? Oh, we're using Up-to-Date Expert AI. Like, come on, man. Couldn't you at least have generated an AI slop name to give your business instead of just doing the laziest shit ever and not even bothering to do anything other than name your service after what it's supposedly offering? That being said, it's not particularly the worst one, and I haven't actually heard it in a while, luckily and thankfully. But the two that, or 3 I should say, that have caught my attention and the reason why I'm making these videos are these 3 sort of storytelling AI apps / games. Now, 2 of these I don't have an exact name of. One of them doesn't advertise the same, it just says a bunch of shitty AI stories, and I could not be bothered to even look at the name if I were to be completely honest. On top of being AI, all of these things are just so terribly bad, dude. It's like, the stories are just slop. It's AI generated visual slop, the audio is slop, and the main plot of each of the little stories that they got are such slop that I don't even think a pig would eat it if it were dumped in its little pen. And while I'm no storytelling savant, I could probably do a whole lot better job than this just premium garbage they're hawking. And this sort of relates to them as a whole, but the general gist of all the plots for every single one of these ads, the way it goes is that, oh, the main character that's played by you, or the main character of the story, it's always someone akin to one of those protagonists of shitty animes, you know, the ones where like, oh yeah, I have an F rank skill, but I'm also secretly level 999 something. I got infinite stats, I got infinite money, power, or whatever. You know, the slop of the good old days slash the modern day, because I know that a lot of those are still being churned out. You know, just those general sort of garbage power fantasies. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but honestly, I have never seen any sort of media besides video games where power fantasy even necessarily works. Feel free to prove me wrong and post something that you think is a good example of a power fantasy that's not from a video game in the comments below or something like that. Anyways, by now I'm sure you guys have got it, the gist. Basically, now we're going to talk about the main culprit, the main bad guy of the story, and no doubt what I'm going to be using for the thumbnail of this video. OOC, the playable anime. Oh lord, where do I even start with this? So, not only does this one suffer from all the previous things like that, but it's also quite egregious in the fact that it uses a mix of both real people and AI-generated slop to advertise itself. Most of the time, it's a real dude recording himself saying, oh yeah, I found this anime, this playable anime where you can essentially make the story yourself and see what's going to happen. And to a certain degree, I sort of get it. I mean, people like playing pretend all the time. D&D is a very popular thing, although I've never gotten to play it quite yet. I am still interested in that sort of stuff. But this, however, I think this is pretty bad since it kind of feeds off of people's loneliness, and instead of making a collaborative effort to make a story between you and maybe some other people, like how they do it in D&D, instead this is just sort of you schizophrenically ranting to a screen. You know, I should rephrase that since I just looked in the proverbial mirror. That aside, this stuff just kind of feeds off of people's loneliness and need to express their ideas or live out a fantasy that people more than likely would gladly help them put out into the world. But just like so many other things relating to AI, this is the cheap, easy, and quick alternative to putting in the effort to make something meaningful, and instead just providing surface level slop and garbage that's ultimately meaningless. And you know, things might look pretty bleak, and as it stands, they kind of sort of are. That by no means should mean that we all, as a collective society, should stop trying. That we should stop putting up a fight against these big corporations, or even these little corporations that are shilling out for AI and making these data centers that are harming our environment and harming the people that live nearby them. There was a time back when I hated the idea of talking to people. I despised the mere thought of even just going and speaking to a person or speaking to a large group of people. And if I'm being completely honest, something like this would have caught my attention and would have seemed pretty interesting to me. However, I've come to realize that it's more worth it to do something meaningful, to put something meaningful out into the world, to have meaningful conversations, to do all these things that have so much value, instead of just replacing all of that with AI. With all that being said and done, if this video can even convince one person to just uninstall an AI app or stop using that garbage and to fight back and spread the word, then I will have done my part. And I would be eternally grateful. Despite the fact that we are all essentially the little guy, and it just feels more and more like we can't do anything about all this horrible thing that's going on in the world, I'm here to tell you that we can. And even though, yeah, sure, this video might not get a lot of views, those few views that it does get, and those few people that this message finds are important. Because whether you like it or not, you are important. The everyday person like you is important to getting shit done, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. Anyways, that's enough of the soapbox for me for today. So, now I just want to talk to you guys a little bit. Honestly, I'm kind of a little bit sad that the previous video did not do so well. And man, that video about high school that I made has gotten so many more views in the time since I posted it. It's legitimately crazy, but please watch the previous video. Man, I'm proud of that one, so, you know, it'd be much appreciated. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for all the support. As always, I am eternally grateful, and yeah, that's about it. As usual, if you guys want me to talk about anything in particular, let me know down in the comments, or any other sort of stuff. I'd gladly like to know your opinions. That's all from me. See ya.
Freedom never fails. Not today!